tremendously. They're going to be on this card. And more importantly, we're really excited to bring the block party to Mohegan Sun on February 4th. And that's going to be a tremendous event. It's our first boxing event of the year, and it's a great way to kick off a new year and a new season. And when you think about the name Block Party, it really makes sense because this really is a party. It's a celebration of boxing in New England. You got some of the great players. And really in the last couple of months, the whole entire region has been represented real well, both nationally and locally. You look on ESPN, we had 3 fighters from New England on ESPN in the last month. That's a tremendous feat. And we're going to continue it on February 4th at Mohegan Sun with some of the great players that are on this card. But before we really get into the nuts and bolts of what we have in store for you on February 4th, I do want to acknowledge some of the fighters that aren't here today that weren't able to make it. And we've got a great card from top to bottom. And it starts with the heavyweight. We've got a great fighter from Randolph, Mass. His name is Billy Mofford. 9-1-2 with 4 knockouts. He's going to be fighting Theron Johnson from Chicago, Illinois. That's a 6-round heavyweight bout on the undercard. And we've also got Brian Macy from Ledyard, Connecticut, who's not able to be here today, which is unfortunate. And Brian's story is tremendous. University of Connecticut graduate. He just got back in September of 2010, serving 10 months overseas in Baghdad, serving our country, defending our freedom. So, Brian has done a tremendous job with that, and he's getting his boxing career back on track. And this is going to be his first fight in 2 years. And it's not going to be an easy fight. He's taking on Eric Pinaretta from the Bedford, Mass. A very tough veteran. The record weight he accepted is at 2-5, but Eric Pinaretta is a very tough opponent. And he has gone toe-to-toe with many CES fighters the past year, including Joe Gardner and Steve Hosman back home in Rhode Island. So I give a hats off to Brian for taking that fight and for Eric for taking that fight as well. That is not going to be easy. And the other fighter I want to mention before we get into the major part of this press conference, if any of you have seen the movie The Fighter, it's been a box office sensation. It's the story of Mickey Ward and Dickie Eklund and their struggles through the years. And we have Sean Eklund, who is the nephew of both Mickey and Dickie on this card on February 4th. That's going to be tremendous. It's going to be great to have Mickey Ward and Dickie Eklund involved in this event. They're going to help us with the promotion. We're going to have them at Mohegan Sun on Thursday for the first of 3 open workouts. That's going to be held right in the casino. So if anybody wants to come down and meet the inspiration behind that movie, that's a great time to do it. And it's also going to be a great time on February 4th to see Sean Eklund back in action. And Sean, if you haven't seen him fight, he really is tremendous. He's got a lot of heart. When he went out there last year, lost a tough fight to Eddie Soto. It was a title fight for the EVA New England belt. Thought he won the fight by decision, didn't get the decision, and he came back and he was determined. He lost the fight in between, but still made it his goal to come out there and finally beat Eddie Soto, and he did so this past March, and he regained, he won that EVA belt. So Sean Eklund's got a lot of heart, very much like Mickey Ward and Dickie Eklund had in their playing days. You can really see the family lineage there. The kid's a tremendous player, and he's going to be on the undercard as well. He's taking on Noel Garcia from Springfield, Mass. Noel Garcia 2-6-1 with 1 knockout. Again, another deceptive record, given his veteran experience in the ring. So it's going to be a real tough test for Sean. But as we get into the real major part here today with the fighters that are with us this afternoon, it's important to really honor what New Haven has done in boxing, what New Haven continues to do throughout boxing. We've got 2 really young fighters from that neck of the woods who are on this card. And they both work out, they train at the same gym with the same trainer, and they're represented by the Boxing and Faith Gym in New Haven. It's a tremendous facility. I had a chance to go down there on New Year's Eve to meet up with some of the players. It's a beautiful facility. It's a great place to train. And they got one of the best in boxing, Louis Rose Sr., who's training there. And he's got 2 fighters on this card. You got Edwin Soto, and we have Louis Rose Jr. So I'd like to have them come on up with their representatives and their teams. Come on up and say a few words.
is ready for this next event. And we just thank you for coming out and supporting us. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. That's Elvin Soto and Louis Rosen. For the record, just to let everybody know, Louis Rosen is going to be playing a 4-round bout against Justin Goodall from Cape Coral, Florida. Justin is 1-1 with 1 knockout. Louis is taking his perfect record in this fight at 4-0 with 3 knockouts. That's going to be a very good matchup. And Edwin Soto is going to be in a 6-rounder against James Bentry of Niagara Falls, New York. And James Bentry's got 4 knockouts in his pro record. Edwin Soto also taking his undefeated record 5-0-1 with 2 knockouts in his bout. So those are 2 tremendous undercard bouts. 2 of the young up-and-comers in New Haven. And again, if you want to check that out, make sure to check out the Boxing and Faith Gym in New Haven. It's a tremendous, tremendous facility. I had a chance to see it myself, and I recommend everybody do the same. Now, one of the next fights I really want to talk about in this card, this could be a show stealer right here. This could be one of the best fights of the year on any venue. And between 2 fighters who are willing to take on anybody at any given time. Now, unfortunately, one half of this epic bout is not with us today. That's Thomas Follow from Providence, Rhode Island. Now, Thomas just made his pro debut in November. He trains out of Manfredo's gym in Rhode Island. And he's done a tremendous display in his pro debut back home in Rhode Island in November. He won with a stoppage in the 2nd round. And really, he's just a high-volume puncher. If you've ever seen Paul Williams play, he'd be very reminiscent of that. Very tall fighter, very tough to defend, and just throws a lot of punches. But his opponent has a tremendous amount of heart, a tremendous amount of ability. And again, he's a fighter who will take on anyone at any given time. And his record might look a little bit deceiving at 2-1-1 with 1 knockout. But when you consider who he's fought in the past, you can't knock Greg McCoy for what he's done in the ring. He has been tremendous. He has shown a lot of skill. He's shown a lot of toughness. And I've heard several boxers say he's one of the toughest body punches they've ever faced. Nobody hits harder in the body than Greg McCoy. And we saw that this past year in October when he stopped Ronaldo Rodriguez. That was his 2nd pro victory. He's taken on Manny Lope from the famous Lope family in Burchfield, Mass. He's taken on Maceo Carter from Boston. He also beat Keith Osmond and handed him his first loss last year as well. So Greg McCoy is going through, he's done through a ton of tough fighters in his career, and he's taken on another tough challenge. Let's welcome from New Haven, Greg McCoy. Thank you very much. And while we have a second to, let's acknowledge Greg McCoy's team, starting with Mike Conn right at the back, and also Greg Stratus. Well, let me say a few words. Come on, Mike.
Really broke into the boxing world recently, about a year. Our main guy, of course, is Elvin Ayala. He's doing a wonderful job with us. We have a great team. We have strength and conditioning coaches, boxing coaches. It's just a wonderful team that we have. I think it's a big difference in our fighters. I think it's a huge difference in everybody that we bring out this group. It makes me really excited. Thank Jimmy, bring us on board. Thank everyone. Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Next player I want to mention, I must admit I don't know a whole lot about this player, so I'm looking forward to getting to know a little bit more about him on February 4th. He's from Puerto Rico. He's now fighting out of Hartford, Connecticut, trained by Jose Colon, managed by Colon Boxing. And he does here with 4 wins, all by knockout. So we know he's got some punching power. What we don't know is how he's going to adapt in the ring. He's fighting a 6-round fight on February 4th. This is going to be his United States debut. He's fighting Marcus Hall, a very tough veteran from Rochester, New York. Marcus has a 4-2-1 record with 2 knockouts. And we already know about the punching power behind his opponent. I want to bring up now with his manager, Jose say hello, Javier Flores. Shows on ESPN, national audiences, and the progress that we have made to keep boxing alive in New England. It's definitely noteworthy. It's definitely tremendous. And I want to introduce him now, the hardest working promoter in professional boxing, Mr. Jimmy Burchfield.
Thank you, Michael. And I want to thank all of you on a stormy day out there. We had some hard time getting here from Providence. It took over 2 hours to get here, but I want to thank each and every one of you in the mid-afternoon to be here. Block Party we're very, very excited about. When I look back to New Haven, we've got a tremendous amount of love for this city of New Haven. A fighter that we worked with, who is the light heavyweight champion of the world that we are very proud of, Chad Dawson. I know you all know that name. He's done some unbelievable things. I want to introduce, first of all, his brother, Rick Dawson. Rick, please stand. Rick is undefeated, and I heard him sitting here saying, why am I not on this card? And as the promoter and president of this company, I can't answer that, Rick, but I will find out, okay? Because you should be on the card. But I will find that out. And also, there's a fighter from Hartford, Connecticut, undefeated, that just is very exciting to watch. I'd like to introduce the undefeated fighter.